Hello and welcome back to our channel, Silent Strength Sigma. Lone Wolf, have you ever stopped to think about what's running through the minds of those intrigued eyes watching you? Here's the truth, there are subtle details about you that women pick up on, and you're probably not even aware of them. This is 12 things independent men don't realize women notice about them, and believe me, some of these will catch you off guard. I know your type, you stand alone, confident, and untouched by the noise of the world. You're the quiet force, the outsider walking a path few dare to tread. But here's the twist, even if you're not watching them, they're watching you. Women notice more than you think, things you might not even recognize in yourself. And that's what we're here to uncover. Let's go through each of these eye-opening points, so you can see just how powerful your quiet presence really is. Number 1, your mysterious aura. Let's begin with what most people notice first about you, even if you never say a word, your mysterious aura. It's not an act. You're not wearing a mask or playing some kind of social game to appear deep or complex. No, this mystery runs through your very core. It's the way you carry yourself, the way your eyes observe more than they reveal, and the calm silence you maintain in a world filled with noise. You don't demand attention, you simply command it by your very presence. When you enter a room, your vibe changes the atmosphere. You don't have to make grand entrances or crack a dozen jokes to be noticed. Women especially pick up on this energy. It's subtle, but powerful, a quiet intensity that whispers, "There's more to this man than meets the eye." You might think you're just standing there, minding your business. But to the people around you, especially to women, you're a puzzle wrapped in confidence. This is where psychology comes into play. Experts refer to this as nonverbal dominance, a phenomenon where your body language says more than any words ever could. It's in your upright posture, steady gaze, slow, deliberate movements, and the way you rarely fidget or rush to fill silence. These nonverbal cues trigger curiosity and respect. While most men are desperate to be seen, you have the rare ability to disappear in plain sight, and somehow become even more noticeable for it. To women, this stillness suggests depth, intelligence, and emotional control, traits often associated with strength and masculinity. Research has found that people who maintain an element of mystery are often perceived as more attractive and alluring. Why? Because they invite the imagination to fill in the blanks. And nothing captures attention more than what can't be fully understood. So the next time you're quietly observing the world around you, disconnected from the chaos, know this, your silence isn't empty. It's full of presence. You're not just avoiding the spotlight, you are the spotlight, whether you realize it or not. That quiet mystery? It's magnetic. It's your hidden power. Number 2, your independence. Your self-sufficiency isn't just a personality trait, it's a statement. In an age where everyone seems addicted to external validation, likes, followers, and constant affirmation, you walk the opposite path. You're not trying to prove anything to anyone. You're comfortable in your own space, anchored by your own values, and motivated by your internal compass. And whether you're aware of it or not, this kind of inner freedom doesn't go unnoticed, especially by women. Independence signals strength, maturity, and self-worth. It means you're not looking for someone to save you, validate you, or complete you. You've already done the inner work. You're not afraid to walk alone, make your own decisions, and take responsibility for your life. And that kind of autonomy is rare, and wildly attractive. Women are incredibly attuned to emotional signals. They subconsciously read behavior to determine if a man is truly self-reliant or simply pretending to be. And you? You don't fake it. Your independence shows up in the smallest moments, from the way you handle challenges on your own, to the fact that you don't broadcast every move you make. Even something as basic as waiting a few hours to reply to a message communicates volumes. You're not being dismissive, you're just focused. Your time and energy are valuable, and you treat them that way. Science supports this, too. Studies consistently show that people who exhibit high levels of autonomy and self-discipline are viewed as more competent, emotionally intelligent, and attractive. These traits signal stability, and in a world full of emotional chaos, that stability is golden. But your independence isn't just about avoiding drama or needing space. It's about something deeper. It's about being grounded in who you are and knowing that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else's opinion. Whether you're off the grid in a cabin, building your own business, or just taking a walk alone at sunset, you're living life on your terms. And that quiet commitment to your own path sends a powerful message, you're whole already. So don't let the world trick you into thinking solitude equals loneliness. For you, it's strength. It's clarity. It's freedom. And when women notice that, they see something truly rare, a man who doesn't need attention to know who he is. That's the kind of presence that can't be faked, and can't be ignored. Number 3, your focus and drive. You're not built like the average man. While others are busy chasing the next big thing, flexing for attention, or trying to impress their social circle, you move differently. You don't follow noise, you follow purpose. There's a razor-sharp intensity to your focus that sets you apart. When you commit to something, you're all in. No half measures. No shortcuts. Just relentless dedication, executed with clarity and discipline. That kind of single-minded pursuit of excellence is rare, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Women, in particular, can sense it. They see how locked in you are when you're working on something that matters to you. Whether it's building a business from the ground up, mastering a new skill, or even perfecting something as seemingly simple as a daily routine, your actions reveal something powerful. They reflect a mind that knows exactly what it wants. That intentionality? It speaks louder than any words ever could. Psychological research supports this. People are biologically attracted to passion and drive. When someone operates with purpose, it triggers admiration, trust, and desire. It suggests long-term thinking, vision, and the capacity to lead. For women, it signals that you're not a man who floats with the current, you create your own path. You don't get distracted by every flashy opportunity or trend that comes along. You're building something that will last, and you're doing it on your own terms. Even in your smallest rituals, like the way you organize your workspace, plan your day, or approach a workout, there's a deeper meaning. These aren't just habits. They're reflections of your core values, discipline, focus, and self-respect. They communicate that you're not just existing, you're sculpting your life into something meaningful. This is what the Sigma mindset is all about. It's not about external rewards or applause. It's about aligning your daily actions with a deeper truth inside you. You're not playing a role, you're building a legacy. And that unwavering commitment? It's powerful. It's captivating. And for the right kind of woman, it's irresistible. Number 4, your calm confidence. In a world fueled by overstimulation, chaos, and ego-driven noise, your calm confidence is like a breath of fresh air. While others shout to be heard, you let your presence speak for itself. You don't need to puff up your chest or dominate a conversation to prove your worth. Your strength lies in your stillness. You've mastered the art of not reacting, and that, in itself, is a form of power most men never even understand. It's not that you don't feel emotions. It's that you've learned how to channel them. You don't let circumstances control you, you control how you respond to them. That quiet composure, that steady energy you carry, is magnetic. Especially to women. Because calmness signals control, and control signals safety, strength, and reliability. When everything around you is spinning, you remain centered. You're the eye of the storm. The lighthouse that doesn't move no matter how wild the waves get. Psychology backs this up. Calm individuals are seen as more emotionally intelligent and trustworthy. They're the ones people turn to in times of uncertainty. You don't panic. You don't spiral. You think. You lead. You adapt. And when you speak, it's with intention, not impulse. Women are especially perceptive to this kind of energy. They notice how you handle pressure, how you don't get dragged into petty conflicts, how you stay cool when everyone else is losing their head. That kind of control over your emotions isn't just impressive, it's attractive. It suggests that you're not swayed by ego, insecurity, or external validation. You've done the inner work. You're secure in who you are. And the best part? You're not trying to be the calmest guy in the room. You just are. You're not interested in proving yourself, you've already proven it to yourself. That's what separates calm confidence from arrogance. Arrogance is loud and insecure. Real confidence is quiet, grounded, and effortlessly powerful. So the next time someone tests your patience or chaos erupts around you, remember this: your silence is strength. Your composure is command. And your calm energy? It's unforgettable. Number 5, your unpredictability. Let's talk about something that most people can't quite wrap their heads around: your unpredictability. You're not someone who lives life on a rigid schedule, chained to routine or predictable patterns. One moment, you're quietly observing the world from the shadows, and the next, you're off exploring something entirely new, an unfamiliar place, a bold idea, or a personal challenge that pushes your limits. You move on instinct, not obligation. And that kind of spontaneity? It doesn't go unnoticed, especially by women. Why? Because your unpredictability adds a layer of excitement to your presence. You're not easily read. You don't move in a straight line. You follow your own rhythm, and in doing so, you keep people on their toes. Especially in the context of attraction, unpredictability triggers something deep in the human brain. It's known as the intermittent reward effect, a psychological phenomenon that explains why people are drawn to what's uncertain, rare, and irregular. Just like a slot machine that offers a random win, you create anticipation. You make people feel something they can't fully control, and that emotional unpredictability is both stimulating and addictive. But make no mistake, you're not chaotic. There's a difference between recklessness and spontaneity. You're not out here seeking thrills just to escape boredom. Your unpredictability comes from being attuned to your curiosity and staying open to possibility. You allow life to unfold without forcing it. You don't cling to a fixed identity, you evolve. You grow. You surprise. And that keeps people, especially women, engaged. In a world where most people live copy-paste lives, same routines, same conversations, same mindset, you're the plot twist they didn't see coming. Your refusal to be predictable shows that you're in control, but not rigid. Confident, but not controlling. Adventurous, but grounded. That balance is intoxicating. It's the mark of a man who trusts his own path enough to let it take unexpected turns. So the next time you take an unplanned detour or act on a gut instinct that no one else understands, remember, your unpredictability isn't confusion. It's freedom. And that freedom? That wildcard energy? That's what makes you unforgettable. Number 6, your emotional depth. You may not be the kind of man who shares his feelings with the world. You don't wear your heart on your sleeve, and you're not broadcasting your emotions to anyone with ears. But make no mistake, beneath that calm surface lies a deep, introspective emotional world. You feel things, intensely. You just process them privately, quietly, and with purpose. And that quiet emotional intelligence? Women sense it almost instantly. Because emotional depth isn't about being loud. It's about being real. And you, Sigma, are as real as it gets. When you speak, you do so with meaning. When you listen, it's not to argue or impress, it's to understand. You absorb. You reflect. You engage on a level most people never reach. And in a world drowning in shallow talk and social posturing, your depth is a rare and powerful thing. Studies in emotional intelligence show that people who can regulate, process, and understand emotions, not just their own, but others, are seen as more grounded, trustworthy, and magnetic. You embody that. Your conversations don't skim the surface, they dive into the core. You don't small talk your way through life. You're searching for meaning, for truth, for substance. And when someone realizes that you're capable of seeing them, really seeing them, it creates a connection that's almost spiritual in nature. And here's the thing, your emotional depth doesn't make you soft. It makes you strong. Because being able to feel pain, love, loneliness, or joy, and still stand tall with clarity and conviction, that takes strength most men don't possess. You've built emotional armor, not by numbing your feelings, but by learning how to navigate them. That's resilience. That's masculinity in its most evolved form. Women are drawn to that contrast, the quiet strength paired with hidden tenderness. They sense that there's a whole universe inside you, even if you don't always express it with words. And when they earn access to that world, it feels sacred. Because you don't open up for just anyone. When you do let someone in, it's not a performance, it's a privilege. So never underestimate the quiet power of your emotional depth. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. And for those attuned enough to recognize it, it's pure gold. Number 7, your untouched spirit. You don't fold to fit the mold. You don't chase applause or bend your values just to be accepted. While the world clamors for attention, you move in silence, driven by something deeper, something unshakable. That, right there, is your untouched spirit. It's not loud. It doesn't demand to be seen. But when it shows up, it changes the atmosphere. You are unbranded, unfiltered, and unapologetically yourself. And in a society where people trade authenticity for likes, followers, or approval, your refusal to compromise makes you unforgettable. You're not in this world to entertain it. You're in it to live truthfully. While others spend hours rehearsing their image, you invest in becoming more of who you truly are. And that authenticity? It's rare. It's magnetic. Especially to women. They see it in your actions, in your silence, in the way you stand your ground without making a show of it. You don't follow trends, you transcend them. You're not swayed by social pressure, groupthink, or digital noise. While others dance for validation, you move with purpose. Your untouched spirit is a quiet form of rebellion, one rooted in integrity. You're not rebellious for the sake of being different. You're simply unwilling to betray your values for temporary approval. There's no mask, no marketing campaign, no false persona. You'd rather walk alone in truth than be surrounded by people who only recognize a version of you that isn't real. That's not stubbornness. That's self-respect. Psychologically speaking, people are wired to trust those who remain consistent in their values, even under pressure. And that's what you do effortlessly. Your consistency, your sense of identity, and your unwillingness to conform all signal one powerful message: you belong to yourself. And that kind of internal stability is both intimidating and deeply attractive. In a world obsessed with reinvention, you're a reminder of something ancient and enduring, the power of staying true to who you are. And when women look at you, they don't just see a man. They see a force. A presence. A spirit that hasn't been tamed by society's demands. So don't ever second-guess the path you walk. Your untouched spirit isn't a flaw, it's your fire. And in a world full of noise, it speaks the loudest truth of all: this man cannot be bought, bent, or broken. Number 8, your selective attention. You don't give your energy to just anyone, and that makes your attention powerful. In a world where most people are constantly distracted, double-tapping, scrolling, and liking without thought, your selective attention is like a rare currency. You don't flirt with every smile, and you don't engage just for the sake of conversation. You observe before you speak. You evaluate before you engage. And that intentionality? Women notice it, deeply. Here's the twist: it's not about being distant. It's about being discerning. You don't chase. You choose. And when you do give someone your focus, it means something. That kind of presence can feel almost overwhelming to someone who isn't used to genuine attention. When you lock into a conversation, when you actually listen instead of waiting to talk, it creates an emotional gravity. Women can feel that. It's not performative, it's real. Research in social psychology suggests that people who are more selective in their social connections tend to form deeper and more meaningful bonds. That's you to a T. You don't waste energy on small talk or shallow validation. You operate on a higher frequency, one where attention is earned, not handed out. Your silence doesn't signal disinterest. It signals awareness. And when you choose to let someone in, it's not just flattering, it's rare. In a world saturated with attention-seeking behavior, your selective focus is a mystery and a magnet. Number 9, your self-mastery. You've got a grip on yourself that most people don't. You don't explode. You don't spiral. You process. You reflect. You move with intention, not impulse. And that kind of self-mastery? It's incredibly attractive, especially to women who are constantly navigating emotional chaos in others. You've trained yourself to respond rather than react. You know how to sit with discomfort. You're not afraid of your own thoughts. That inner discipline, whether it shows up in your fitness, your habits, your time management, or how you carry yourself, tells the world that you are in control of your domain. And that's rare air. Most people are ruled by their moods or swayed by the opinions of others. Not you. Women don't just see this discipline, they feel it. In the way you walk, in the way you breathe, in the way you don't get thrown off by drama. You're not on an emotional leash. And that calm presence, rooted in personal mastery, creates a powerful contrast in a world full of emotional volatility. This doesn't mean you're emotionless. It means you've learned to lead yourself first, and few things are more compelling than a man who doesn't just have goals, but has the discipline to walk them out, day by day, silently and with focus. That's the Sigma difference. And women see it, whether they admit it or not. Number 10, your emotional restraint. You don't react impulsively. You don't spill your emotions all over the place. And that emotional restraint? It's not a weakness, it's strength, refined. In a world where emotional outbursts are normalized and oversharing is the new trend, your ability to keep your emotions in check is something women immediately recognize, even if they don't consciously understand it at first. You're the kind of man who feels deeply, but chooses when and how to express those feelings. You don't rush to post cryptic messages or vent your frustrations online. Instead, you reflect. You internalize. You sort through your emotions like a strategist navigating a battlefield, not to suppress them, but to understand them before they cause damage. And here's why that hits different: emotional regulation is rare. According to psychological research, people who regulate their emotions effectively tend to build stronger relationships and are perceived as more mature, reliable, and safe. That's exactly what you project without trying. When a woman is around you, she feels that emotional steadiness. She knows you're not going to spiral over a disagreement or act out when things get tough. This doesn't make you cold. It makes you contained. You choose presence over panic, poise over drama. And in a world addicted to chaos, that kind of balance is quietly powerful and highly attractive. Number 11, your unshakable standards. You don't just accept what's handed to you. You have standards for your time, your energy, your space, and especially your relationships. And here's the part you may not notice: women are always watching how a man enforces his boundaries. And you? You do it with quiet certainty. You're not looking for approval. You're not trying to be liked. You're living in alignment with what you believe in, and that means you're willing to walk away from anything that doesn't match your values. Whether it's low-effort friendships, shallow conversations, or manipulative behavior, you don't tolerate nonsense. You don't entertain disrespect. You don't lower the bar just to avoid being alone. That kind of inner code sets off alarms, in a good way. It says, this man knows his worth. And trust this, women sense it, even before you open your mouth. The way you hold eye contact, the way you say no without explanation, the way you protect your solitude, it all communicates one thing: you're not desperate. You're deliberate. Modern culture glorifies tolerance and compromise at all costs. But you have a spine. And that's why you stand out. Not because you're rebellious, but because you refuse to betray yourself just to be accepted. That's not arrogance. That's self-respect. And in a world starving for authenticity, your unshakable standards don't repel people, they filter out the ones who don't belong, and attract those who do. Number 12, your quiet observational power. You're not the guy filling every silence with noise. You're not trying to dominate every conversation. Instead, you observe. You read the room. You notice the small things: body language, tone, energy shifts, and you do it with surgical precision. And here's the twist: women notice that you're noticing. Most men overlook the subtle cues, how someone's smile doesn't match their eyes, or how their words say one thing while their posture says another. But not you. You pay attention. And that quiet attentiveness? That's a rare form of intelligence that women instinctively respond to. You're not collecting gossip, you're collecting data. You're analyzing patterns, not personalities. It's a skill rooted in your detachment. You don't get caught up in emotional storms or social theatrics. You stand back, watch, and when you speak, it's calculated, measured. And because you speak less, your words carry more weight. This observational strength also makes you deeply intuitive. You can often sense what someone needs: support, space, or the truth, even when they haven't said a word. That creates a sense of safety and mystery at the same time. For women, this can be intoxicating. Because in a world where most people are too busy talking about themselves, you're the anomaly, someone who sees more than he says. And let's be real, being seen is one of the most powerful human experiences. Especially when it comes from someone who doesn't give their attention away freely. So while you sit back in silence, scanning the scene, just know, your stillness isn't emptiness. It's presence. It's awareness. And to the right woman, it's irresistible. Final thoughts. At the end of the day, Sigma males don't walk through the world trying to impress, and that's exactly what makes them so captivating. The irony is profound: by not seeking attention, they command it. By staying true to themselves, they attract those who are tired of the fake, the flashy, and the loud. You may not realize the full impact of your presence. You might think your silence goes unnoticed, or that your independence makes you invisible. But in truth, you're being watched, studied, and remembered, not for what you say, but for who you are. Women are incredibly intuitive. They pick up on subtleties that most people overlook. They notice the way you move through the world, your quiet confidence, your emotional restraint, your inner focus. They're intrigued by your unpredictability, moved by your emotional depth, and drawn to the raw authenticity of your untouched spirit. You're not trying to be mysterious, but you are. You're not trying to be desirable, but you are. You're not chasing validation, but you get it anyway. The truth is, Sigma males are like human paradoxes: self-contained yet magnetic, silent yet loud in presence, detached yet deeply aware. And it's this contradiction that sets you apart. So the next time you catch someone watching you from across the room, don't overthink it. Just know, they see something rare. Something real. Something that doesn't need to be explained to be understood. Because that's the Sigma way: you don't tell people who you are. You show them, without even trying. And there you have it, Sigma? You're not just seen, you're felt. While the world chases noise, you move in silence, and leave a lasting impression. If this video opened your eyes to things you didn't even know women noticed about you, hit that like button to show some silent strength. Drop a comment below and let me know which trait surprised you the most, or if there's one you've seen in yourself all along. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep insights into the Sigma mindset, and tap the notification bell so you never miss when a new video drops. Until next time, stay sharp, stay grounded, stay unapologetically you. The Sigma path isn't for everyone. But you were never like everyone else.